Coming up next, On the Spot. Goodbye, January. Hello, games. High Impact Games is here with Ratchet and Clank Size Matters for the PSP. Plus, we got a pair of deuces, God of War 2 and Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter 2. Also, we'll play Lunar Nights and Comix Zone and give an extra special demonstration of the true gaming power of Windows Vista. Whoa, baby. We're live and on the spot. Hello, everybody, and welcome to On the Spot, GameSpot's live show we do every Thursday afternoon. Play some games, hang out, generally have a good time. I'm your host, Rich Gallup. What is up, Jeff Gersman?
Nothing, dude.
No, there's a lot.
Oh.
We have a great show for you today.
We do.
This might almost be an historic show.
It might be.
Or a historic show.
It could be.
Either.
Yeah.
Historic? It's not an historic. It's
Ryan
a
Davis,
historic show.
don't correct my grammar, man.
Just do what I do,
I don't know
man.
if that's just like
co-sign whatever that dude says. Just say, yeah, dude.
But yes, we do have a fantastic show.
We have six.
Yeah, dude.
We have 6 game demos on 6 different systems today.
We do.
See? Man knows what he's talking about. Ryan Davis, break it down for us. Tell us how great today's show is, please.
It is fantastic. We have, like you said, 6 games, 6 systems. We're going to be taking a look at Windows Vista. New operating system just came out. We are going to tap into the power of Vista later in the show. Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter 2, new Xbox 360 demo just came out, and Mr. Jason Ocampo is going to give us a look at that. God of War 2, they also just released a fresh demo for that, which looks crazy, and Mr. Brian Eckberg is going to walk us through that, as well as Lunar Nights for the DS. We've also got our friends at High Impact are here with Ratchet and Clank Size Matters for the PSP. And then we also have a look at Crackdown, is that right?
We do. Did you mention our friends from High Impact Games being here with Ratchet and Clank Size Matters?
I did.
I was too busy looking at the emails that are coming in.
Okay, yeah.
They're already pouring in. Everyone start sending your emails now. Hit the Ask a Question tab. Fire away, because we have President Ricardo Rodriguez.
Yes.
Director of Development, a.k.a. the Development Director. Mm-hmm. Leslie Matheson here.
That is also true.
They're going to play Ratchet and Clank Size Matters on the PSP.
Yes, they are.
It's a nice-looking game.
Yes, it is.
You really got to stop.
When you speak truth, what more can I say? I have nothing to add other than you're right.
This is going to be the best show ever.
He's your yes man. That's what you want.
No, I don't. Before we get to that, any of that, though, yes, earlier in the week, there was an event held for Crackdown.
No, there wasn't.
A game you're playing right now.
Not anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
But there was an event for it. Brad was over there. Brad, you know Brad Shoemaker?
Nope.
Man on the spot. Take it away, Brad.
With the world on the edge of anarchy, all forms of policing across the globe combined forces to form the agency. But it wasn't enough. Welcome to the agency, Agent. I'm your main point of contact and the closest thing you have to a friend. I'll guide you and keep you informed of the latest agency intelligence to help you rid Pacific City of its 3 biggest gangs.
Thanks, guys. I'm here at a Microsoft event where they're showing off the finished version of Crackdown. And with me is producer Phil Wilson. How you doing, Phil?
I'm good. Hi.
So you guys had a pretty hectic development cycle all the way up to the end. You're finally finished now. Are you happy with the way the game turned out? Like, did you guys fulfill all the goals that you set out to accomplish?
We actually did more than that. We're really pleased with the way the game turned out. You know, it's become so much more than the sum of all its parts, which I think has been borne out by the experience people are having with the demo that's now up on live. So, you know, it was a massive crunch to finish the game, but we're really pleased with it, and we're still having a lot of fun playing the game.
The demo's out on Xbox Live now. Can you give, obviously people are out there enjoying it from what I'm seeing on message boards and stuff. Can you give people an idea of how much of the game they're seeing in the demo? You know, how much more do they have to see once they buy the final game?
So it's a pretty big demo, but there's still a lot of game beyond it. So what we've given you is the south island of Los Muertos district, so that's like about a fifth of the game world. And so you've got that whole area to play around with. You've also got the agency district, so you've got that whole tower that you can explore and climb up. The key thing we did with the demo was we wanted people to understand how the skill leveling improves. So what we did was we accelerated the skill leveling. So if you play that game, you can play it for up to an hour, but in that time you can get some of your skills maxed out and see what a tough agent can do.
The game's not even out yet, and you guys are already starting to hint at the kind of downloadable content you're going to have. I know you haven't firmed up any plans yet, but can you tease us with what we might see in the future?
I kind of have to be careful what I say right now, but it's a game that would benefit so much from some really cool DLC. So we're looking to add some more vehicles and some more mini games for solo and co-op, leaderboards as well, obviously. Definitely some more equipment, some gadgets and toys to play around with.
And then so finally, it was recently announced that another high-profile game, Halo 3, obviously, has been attached to your game. They've got this whole beta deal going on where you buy the game, you can get into the beta. How do you guys feel about that? Are you excited? You feel like it's going to boost your sales? Do you feel overshadowed by it?
Well, you kind of covered it there, because initially we did have some mixed feelings about it. Obviously, we didn't want people to see this as us. Maybe we didn't have the quality of game, and we needed the Halo 3 beta on there. We've got a great game, and the Halo 3 beta is obviously going to help build awareness of the game and get it into more people's hands. And we're just confident that whatever reason that you buy Crackdown for, you're going to be really happy with the game. So it's cool, and we're excited about playing the beta ourselves as well.
Well, the game's finished. We're going to go play it right now, and back to you guys.
Thank you, Brad. And we are back here on the scene with Roberto Rodriguez, president of High Impact Games, and Leslie Matheson, design director. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Leslie, we saw you on stage at E3 with Ratchet and Clank Size Matters for the PSP. Mm-hmm. Several months later, E3 is no more, but your game lives on.
That's right. It's all done now. It's all ready to be in people's hands playing it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And you're going to show it off for us today?
Yeah.
Sure.
Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Roberto's going to play. Leslie's going to talk. Roberto, you also have a mic, though, so you feel free to say anything you want.
Okay.
Leslie, real quick overview. It's Ratchet and Clank, but it's on the PSP.
That's right. I mean, our goal from the very beginning was we didn't want to just take Ratchet and Clank and say, okay, we're going to reduce it down to a PSP. Our goal was to take a full Ratchet and Clank game and make it available to be portable. So this game is completely original, new story, new levels, new gameplay, features that you haven't seen in the console games, and looks as good as a PS2 game, but it's on a PSP screen.
Cool. Roberto, don't be afraid to play the game while we're going here, so people can stop staring at me. But
why would we want to do that?
Exactly. Leslie, let's start up top then. What's the new story this time around?
Okay, well, at the beginning of the game, Ratchet and Clank are on vacation, and they're relaxing on Pocataru, where they meet a girl named Luna, and she wants to do a report on them, take some pictures. And while she's doing this, she gets kidnapped, and the robots that kidnap her drop an artifact belonging to a mysterious race known as the Technomites. And so Ratchet and Clank set off after her, and of course they get involved way deeper than they intended.
Of course. And I hear this time around there's an awful lot more of Clank.
Absolutely. We wanted to bring the franchise back to the earlier games. We felt like the fans really missed Clank a lot in the last game, and they'd like to see more of him. So we put in a ton of Clank this time. And it's not just the old gameplay. He has all new abilities this time around. He can jump into torsos. They're like little vehicles and be in destruction derbies or little sports games. There's also Giant Clank, but now he's in space, and we'll show you a bit of that today.
We will?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, before we get there, we got Ratchet right here. And Ratchet and Clank series, known for probably some of the best video game TV commercials ever. What kind of weapons are in the game? What have you guys created this time around?
Well, we've got a mix of returning favorites and new weapons. So we've got returning favorites like the Agents of Doom are back, the suck cannon is back. But then we've got all new weapons. One of them is the bee mine, that if you throw it out, it creates a hive with robotic bees that will attack your enemies.
Awesome.
Another one is this one is the shock rocket. So the shock rocket's your long-range weapon, and it fires electrical blasts. And you can also get mods for it that allow it to fire out multiple rockets.
Cool. Speaking of mods, I hear there's a nice armor system in the game.
That's right. The armor system in past Ratchets has been pretty much walk up to a vendor, buy a suit of armor, and that's it. We've expanded upon that so you can buy armor for individual pieces. So you could get a helmet or you could get boots, and when you collect an entire set, Ratchet gets new abilities. So if you get Wildfire armor and you collect an entire set of it, his wrench gets on fire, his footprints are on fire, and when he hits enemies, he sets them on fire.
A lot of fire.
There's a lot of fire there. There's
Hot
also
fire.
secret sets. So if you figure
what?
out, well, I'm not going to tell you what they are, but if you mix and match the armor in the right ways, you can unlock entirely new abilities for him.
Very cool. And this is the fire suit we're looking at right now?
That's the fire suit right now, so you can see he's burning, he's making everything else burn, and it's all about fire.
Awesome. Ryan Davis, As you know, we take questions from the audience all show long.
I know it.
You know that?
Oh, how I know it.
Are you guys ready for some
so
questions?
aware of that.
Absolutely.
We'll get Roberto talking here. Ryan Davis.
Yes.
Hit us.
First off, Andy Robinson from Fort Carson, Colorado, asked specifically about the weapons. Wants to know if the Rhino is present this time around. You said
The
there was
Rhino is absolutely present. We
Fantastic.
couldn't have a Ratchet game without the Rhino, so it's back and it has upgrades.
Nice. More questions.
Oh, let's see here. Craig Brown from New York, Florida.
That's
Sure.
not a place.
That's what he says.
Liar.
He wants to know about camera controls.
So camera controls are one of the more challenging things of the PSP because, of course, we don't have the right analog stick. But what we've done is...
What'd you do with it?
Well, we hid it somewhere. No one will ever find it. And instead, they have to use shoulder buttons.
Okay.
But the shoulder buttons work well. They rotate the camera around. And we also put in 2 camera modes so that players could kind of pick and choose how they want it to work. There's a really active camera that pretty aggressively stays behind Ratchet. So if you don't like touching the camera buttons a lot, it'll try to just stick behind him and aim at where you want to look. If you'd rather have more control of the camera, like the PS2 versions, you can put it on passive mode and control the camera using the shoulder buttons.
Was it challenging creating a game that another developer had been working on for so long? Like, how'd you guys come up with the story and the sense of humor in the game? You just have a good group of people working on it, or?
Well, we had a great group of people. Some of the people have worked on the past Ratchet games, like Roberto and I, so that was very
Okay.
comfortable for us. For the story, the team really just sat down. Everyone was pretty excited about it. They threw in ideas. I sort of coalesced them into a cohesive story, and then we had Oliver Wade, who did the dialogue on some of the original Ratchets, wrote the dialogue for this one, so the humor's all still there.
Cool. A little bit of collaboration there.
That's right.
Awesome. All right, Ryan Davis, more questions.
Let's see here. Daniel Ladiano from San Rafael, California asks, he wants to know more about Clank's playability in this game.
So Clank has a lot of things he can do in this game. He's got some of the traditional Gadgetbot gameplay, plus he's got Clank arenas that have 3 different types of Clank gameplay available. And then on top of it, he also has Giant Clank in space. So the Clank arenas, he gets to be in a destruction derby. He's got the bot flinger challenges, which are a little like a sport where you're throwing around explosive Gadgetbots.
Nice.
And the survival mode, which is a little more puzzly, which has, Gadgetbots walking along, you have to give them different kinds of orders. Except it's a little bit more 2D style. What we're about to see is Giant Clank in space.
Yes.
I'm going to let Roberto talk a bit about that.
That sounds like its own game.
Yeah, it totally is. And Roberto will say more about it than I will because it's his favorite part of the game.
Roberto, tell us about Giant Clank.
Well, actually, a lot of people have mentioned that this is like a full game on its own and they want to see more of it. But we put a lot of efforts. What I worked on most when I worked on the previous Ratchet games was special effects and weapons and things like that. So I wanted to do something that was that pushed my limits in what I could do visually. So this was my favorite section, and I worked with very, very talented engineers in getting as much as I could on the screen. And we have in this level, we tried to put as much as we could, and we have over 20,000 particles at once on the screen without any slowdown.
On the PSP?
On the PSP. Many PS2 games can't do that.
Awesome.
And it's the absolutely smooth gameplay, and it's actually remarkable.
Cool. So tell us about the gameplay right here with Giant Clank.
Well, right now, Giant Clank is flying through space. He's got unlimited guns, so you can just blast at anything, and there's a bit of dodge him here. But ultimately, there's just going to be piles of enemies coming at him, and he'll collect some rockets, which he'll be able to fire off at them. But if you wait for another wave or so, you'll truly see just how much stuff can go on at once. You're already seeing some of it. It's pretty impressive
Getting
stuff.
a little bit of an Iron Giant vibe from Clank here. He doesn't get hit by a meteor and crash on Earth and befriend a little boy who has to run away from Christopher McDonald. Does that happen?
No, and he's also not afraid to blow things up.
Nice. That's true. Very true. Ryan Davis, one last question, please.
Oh, only one?
Yeah, ask about multiplayer.
I really wanted to ask, all right,
ask it. No, do it.
Keith Kazer from Genoa City, Wisconsin, wants to know about the multiplayer, how many people can play, is it online, stuff like that.
Perfect.
So multiplayer, we've got 2 modes available, both ad hoc and infrastructure. So you can play with your friends in a room or on a server with people across the country. We've got 3 different multiplayer modes. Deathmatch, Capture the Flag, and something we call Iron Lombax, which is like objective-based gameplay. And each of the maps is totally unique. It doesn't overlap with a single-player map. and all of the different maps have different objectives for the Iron Lombax mode. So like my favorite's the cow one, where you're basically suck canning these cows on this space level, and you're at competing restaurants, and you're putting them in the cowverter to make little meat crates and load them onto trucks.
Nice.
And things like that.
Cool. Good for vegans. All right, so the game is Ratchet and Clank Size Matters. Leslie, Roberto, thanks for coming by. When is it available in stores?
February 13th.
That's like soon.
Yes.
So perfect Valentine's Day gift, Ratchet and Clank Size Matters. Thank you very much, Roberto, Leslie. Appreciate you coming by. And, for the next game, come on back.
Okay.
So we'll see you then. Great. Ryan Davis, you're standing by with, is that Brian Eckberg I see over there?
This is Mr. Brian Eckberg. Brian, how's it going?
Hey, man, doing well.
You've brought along Lunar Nights. Does this have a subtitle, or is it
just Lunar Nights?
That seems unlikely for a Hideo Kojima-produced game.
Yeah, it's Lunar Nights. Maybe the next one will be Sons of the Flags of the Father or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, this is just straight up Lunar Nights.
So this is Lunar Nights. This is a new action-adventure game for the DS. This is kind of following in the footsteps of Boktai.
Yeah, in fact, I've heard that it's sort of a spin-off from that series.
Okay.
And obviously it's a...
Space vampires.
Exactly, and that is a big part of this game here in Lunar Nights. You play as two characters that you alternate between in chapters. Right now we're controlling Lucian, who's a vampire hunter who has a big... sort of dark sword that he uses to kick some vampire butt. And you also play as another character later on named Aaron. And Aaron he's a gunslinger, so he has a solar gun, which, as you can imagine, is pretty bad news for vampires.
Is this a thing where you trade off on the fly, or is it like you'll get to different points in the game and?
So far, from what I've seen of it so far, the first chapter is Lucian, the second chapter is Aaron. You might switch off more rapidly as the game progresses.
It could change as the game goes on. Sure.
But right now it's one chapter per character.
Margrave's getting ready to give you the business here.
Now Margrave is one of the first bosses that you fight in the early goings of the game, and he's talking to a character named B, who is a more experienced gunslinger.
Okay.
And Aaron, who I mentioned earlier, one of the main characters, is sort of an apprentice, so he has a long way to go before he's up to B's skill levels.
Now this is a Kojima game, as we mentioned before. Is the story? Is there a lot of long-winded speeches?
Lots of text. I mean, this is a very RPG-influenced game. That we're looking at one of the anime sequences right now that sort of sets up the fight between Lucian and Margrave. Lots of these little anime breaks, which keeps things moving. It's actually pretty cool.
The production on this looks nice. It's kind of like the quality that you expect to see through the.
Exactly, yeah. So, but in order to keep it moving, I'm actually going to skip this. There's a little bit more text, and then we're going to take it to Margrave.
Fantastic.
One of the things people need to know about this game is that two different characters, and they both play really differently.
Okay.
Lucian, who I'm controlling here, has a sword. He's close combat.
Right.
And Aaron has the gun, so he's more ranged weapon.
Sure.
But also their powers are based on the moon and the sun, depending on which character you're controlling. Lucian, as you might guess, is moon controlled, so his powers are derived by the moon. So there'll be segments, if he's subject to moonlight, his energies will replenish. Similarly,
now this doesn't figure like it did in Boktai, where it's like there's a moon sensor on the cart, and you have to like go out and put it up to the sky to.
No, but
nothing like that.
Jokes?
Yes, you wrote that joke, Rich.
I did. In rehearsals, I said it.
Complain to ASCAP.
Okay, writing it down.
So I just transformed Lucian into a really scary-looking creature here, using his moon powers.
Goodness.
And I'm really taking it to Margrave here. With he transformed into this like demon thing, using what's called trance powers. And trance powers basically, the more you hit opponents, the more you land blows on opponents, your trance meter blows up, and once it's filled out, you can transform to these new powers and really take it to them. There's sort of a group attack and then a single attack that really concentrates a lot of damage on one opponent.
Now you're saying that this is a kind of RPG influenced game, but you're doing all this. This is all real time combat. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely. And the combat is the various monsters that you face are all real time, and this is, as you can see, a real time fight. Lucian also has a shield that I'm not making very good use of right now, but you do learn to use the shield a lot because it's invaluable. And
You got some sort of bat cat following you around?
Yeah, that is what's called a terrennial. It's basically like gives you your moon powers. Okay, I just beat Margrave.
Fantastic. Good job.
And so terrennials, both Aaron and Lucian have their own terrennials that give them powers, such as the access to what we saw earlier. So we just beat the boss here, but the game isn't over, of course. There's a lot more to play. Yeah, so we're actually going to, I know, we're going to...
How many hours into this are you? You say this is like one of the earlier bosses.
Yeah, I finished the first 2 chapters, and I think I'm about 3.5 hours in, so it's going to be a pretty lengthy game, I think. But as you know, Ryan, whenever, we've killed this Margrave guy, but the worst part about killing a guy is what? Getting rid of the body, of course, right? So we're going to do that now, but the way you do that in Lunar Nights...
Put him in the trunk, take him to Jersey.
Well, kind of, yeah, kind of. You actually are, we're going to take him into what's known as the casket rocket.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so... Yeah.
A Casket Rocket, they're playing at Slim's this weekend, $5 cover. Definitely go see them. They put on an amazing show.
Yeah, so we have to go through this little bit to get to the Casket Rocket, but basically what Casket Rocket is, as you might guess, is a casket rocket that you control with the stylus and the touchpad. It's a very different way of playing what is otherwise a very...
So this is like take a little break and this kind of becomes like a space shooter game?
Exactly. And once it gets going here, you'll see it.
Rich, have you got any questions from the folks at home?
Sure do. Tony Wong in Edmonton wants to know, since there's anime in this game, is there voice acting and how is it?
There is voice acting, and it's sort of sporadic. I haven't actually heard the 2 main characters... oh, shoot, I did the wrong thing.
What did you
Folks,
do?
we're not going to see the casket rocket. But trust me, it's awesome.
Well, let's kill it right there then.
All right. Sorry for the no casket rocket. Is there any way we can recover from that?
Let me see if there's something I can do.
There's actually a stylus in there.
Is there a really in-depth story? Luis Sandrin in North Vancouver wants to know.
The story is really in-depth. I mean, you're talking about a horde of vampires that are looking to take over the Earth by altering the weather and taking away the sun, and a whole bunch of stuff that's RPG,
It's very Japanese traditional RPG
yeah,
stuff.
with a lot of humor. I mean, the little terrennials that you collect are... one's a sunflower, another's a talking cat, and so it's very Japanese, got a nice sense of humor, and there's a lot going on. It's a very deep game, and the casket rocket, man, I wish you guys could have seen that.
I'm sure they do too.
Yeah.
But you've got a preview coming up on this?
Yeah, it'll be going up today, and
excellent.
Yeah,
and then the game comes out like next week, and we should
right
have a review sometime around then.
Absolutely.
Well, excellent. Brian, thanks for coming by and showing this off.
My pleasure.
Rich?
Thank you, Ryan and Brian. That's rhyme. Get it?
It does rhyme.
Yeah, thank you. Earlier this week, it was a week of events, by the way. Jason Ocampo went to see an event for Pirates of the Caribbean Online. Have you heard of it?
Yes, I have.
Oh, you'll hear more about it right now. Take it away, Jason.
The weapon that we're going to use is called an épée, and it is a direct descendant from the dueling sword. It's a thrusting weapon. It's a little bit different than the weapon that you would be using on a pirate ship. Of course, pirate ship's got sails and ropes and all sorts of things to get in the way of a long sword. The pirates would be using what's called a cutlass. All right. And one. Bravo.
Hi, this is Jason Ocampo, and we're here at Disney Online's event for Pirates of the Caribbean Online. And I'm here with Steve Parkis, and he's going to tell us all about the game. So, Steve, tell us a bit about Pirates of the Caribbean Online.
Okay, great. Well, we're going to invite you into the world of Pirates of the Caribbean. We want you to become a pirate. We want you to feel what it's like to go into Jack Sparrow's world and battle to become the most notorious pirate in the Caribbean. This is all about you and your place within the Caribbean. But we do want you to experience the film franchise, and we do want you to see what it's like to interact with Davy Jones and Jack Sparrow, Barbossa. So we're going to give you a ton of opportunity to go and see them in their environments. They'll send you out on quests. They will put challenges in front of you, and we're really trying to wrap it into that feeling that you get when you go see one of the films. We've designed the business model so that you can get in and play for free. and you can become a part of the world of Pirates of the Caribbean without having a barrier for a kid to have to go and pay for the game. Now, if you want to get the entirety of the experience of Pirates of the Caribbean, we're going to have an unlimited access subscription that will then unveil to you more of the world, but we don't want to lock anyone out, so we're going to invite everyone into play.
Kid-friendly is also very important because I know for parents, it seems like there's a lot of kid-friendly features in this game too.
Yeah, we were very cognizant of the fact that this is a Disney product. We still want to make it fun and exciting, and we want to have that action and adventure, but we want to do it in a way where parents can know that, much like when you go to one of our theme parks, that your child's going to be safe, they're going to have a good time. It's definitely going to be aged up. We're really looking for teens to want to play the game, but still doing it in a way that's respectful to what parents expect from Disney.
So when can we expect Pirates of the Caribbean Online to ship?
We're going to ship it this spring, and the reason why we're not giving a specific date, we want it to be perfect. So we're going to announce a date once we know that the game is going to live up to everything you would expect from the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise.
Excellent. That's Pirates of the Caribbean Online, going to come in the spring, as he said. But now we have God of War 2 with Brian Eckberg over on the other set. Brian and Rich, and what's going on over there?
Nothing, Ryan Davis. Thank you. Brian Eckberg, you are fast.
I made the long walk.
That was good, man.
Yeah, it was like the Green Mile.
It's the beard that pushes you over the edge.
It protects you from the elements.
Yeah, I was freezing out there.
Yeah,
it's a deadly walk.
Yeah, it is.
All right, no fooling around. God of War 2, what?
God of War 2, man, do I even need to say anything about this game? I mean, check this out. But, this is a sort of an updated demo that we just got in the office a few days ago. We did a preview of, and it's really fantastic. I mean, we skipped sort of an intro movie that showed what's going on here, but the idea is that Kratos, who is now the God of War, went down to the ancient city of Rhodes, started messing up the city, and he kind of made Athena, another one of
his benefactor.
Yes, his benefactor, made him mad. So what she did is, when he's down there messing up Rhodes, she brings the ancient Colossus of Rhodes, one of the 7 ancient wonders of the world, to life to have it in for Kratos. And as you can see, while he's fighting all these soldiers, you see the Colossus right outside the window. He's punching the side of the wall trying to get in. And once I clear this room and can kill all these guys, we're actually going to take the fight to that guy.
Yes.
That dude is big.
He's real big, but you know what, Kratos, he's pretty crafty. So
So is he godlike anymore now that he's little? He looks like he's not.
Yeah, he has some of his godlike powers. I mean, he can still, he's got his crazy weapons that he can do that kind of stuff with, and he's still super strong, and he's definitely resourceful, and he's got his magical powers. But obviously, he's in the intro movie. Kratos is massive. He's like literally punching apart the city, which is pretty awesome.
So you don't get to play that part.
You don't get to play that part, but it's not long before you're back down to this size, and you're whipping it like Kratos likes to here in the hallways. We're going to get right through here, and then we're going to take it to the Colossus.
So obviously, as an ancient wonder of the world, the Colossus of Rhodes isn't standing anymore. Do you think the game developers took it upon themselves this is the story of how the Colossus of Rhodes is no more?
Well, they say that possibly.
Whoa.
Yeah, see, there's his hand, and you can actually get his hand and punch it. Yeah, maybe, Rich. I don't know. I mean, they say an earthquake, but it could have definitely been, a God of War coming to Earth, and
So up next, the next level, you fight the Hanging Gardens of Babylon?
Why not?
Okay.
Why not?
Sure. And the Lighthouse of, was it Giza?
You've been on Wikipedia.
No. The Library of Alexandria?
So here we are.
I'm done.
Okay.
Stop.
So there he is.
Good job, college boy.
Thanks.
He's punching you, and you, of course, got these soldiers to deal with. And
it really looks like at that point when he slaps his hand down, you should be running up his hand, not hitting
Well,
it.
check this out. You do have a way to get up towards him. I just got to set him up. Like Kratos, as I said, he's very, he has his methods for getting close to guys. In fact, I think I'll show it to you right now. This is called a ballista right here, and you can fire a stone at the guy. No, he catches it. That didn't do any good.
Oh.
But the fight is not over. Trust me.
It looks like he just pissed off Kratos more.
Yeah, he did. He pissed off the Colossus even more, too. So if you can get him stunned like this...
Is Kratos still mad?
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
He's mad at everything. So now
Tell him why you mad, son.
Now we're gonna jump into the ballista.
You're crazy.
Yeah, and we're gonna fire us. Oh, it didn't work.
Oh, because
Kratos gets smashed. That's not good.
No.
But I'll try it again if I can get close to his hands.
It's all about getting
dropping those double axe handles now.
Yeah, exactly.
Greg the Hammer
This
Valentine
game looks
out there.
absolutely phenomenal.
This is a PS2 game, folks. Can you imagine what this series
What are we
look
gonna
like
play it
PS3?
on?
Jason from Cincinnati wants to know if we feel this looks as good, better
There he is.
than the original God of War. How does this stack up for a PS2 game?
Well, from what I've seen of this game, I think it looks at least comparable. This demo that they're showing only features the fight with Colossus, but you do a lot of different things, and that's one of the really cool aspects of this demo is that, you know, you're fighting the Colossus one moment and you're stabbing him in the eye, which I'm hopefully going to do here in a second, and the next moment you're flung to an entirely different part of the city and you're fighting guys and you're solving puzzles.
Oh,
Yes,
that would hurt.
right in the eye. And then see, now you're slung to a completely different part of the city. Oh, he's safe now. Wait a minute. No, he's not. He's in a pool. So now you're underwater, and you've got to go, you know, kick some more soldiers' butts. You've got to go find Colossus again. And so this demo, which takes about 20 minutes, I think, to finish, you know, you fight the Colossus like 3 separate times. And in addition to doing, you know, standard stuff like, you know,
the dragging
solving
stuff
puddles
around and
yeah,
opening
exactly,
and
real
killing
standard
dudes
stuff
all
like
over
that.
the place.
And so it really keeps the action moving and really keeps things interesting. And you're never doing one thing for too long in this demo.
Any more questions, Ryan Davis?
Yeah, I've got a ton of questions.
Give me 3 more.
Let's see here.
Putting a cap
Greg
on it.
Pert from St. John, New Brunswick, Canada. Perhaps you've heard of it.
Yes.
Wants to know how difficult this demo is. Does this compare to some of the tougher moments in the original God of War?
I honestly didn't find it that tough. I guess I find walking up a ladder more difficult than some of the things. But no, it's not that bad. I mean, the standard controls that you've come to be used to in the series are all here. The attacks are all the same, and the boss fight. It took me a little bit to figure out that ballista thing because I actually didn't see it right at first. But right, if I can get out there, I can show you guys the second part of this fight. But it's actually how you beat him is very similar. Here now he steps on you.
That's his foot.
Yeah, but you lift it up. You know.
You're tough.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's Kratos. So
I have a hypothetical question for you guys.
Go for it.
All right. So obviously this is a PlayStation 2 game. We all want to play it. How well do you think this game will play on a PlayStation 3?
Oh.
I bet that if it doesn't already run just fine on a PlayStation 3, they will have a firmware update like day and date with the release of the game to make it go.
It has to, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, they did do that firmware update recently, right? Where
they did. So they've fixed a lot of the emulation issues. But if this game, for whatever reason, is messed up or whatever right now on a PS3, and as they're finishing development, I bet they'll just fix the PS3 to work with it or something.
But this game does support widescreen progressive scan. Is that correct?
Yes, widescreen and progressive. Yes.
Fantastic.
I think that's what we're playing it on right now.
Oh, great.
Definitely widescreen right here.
Perry Vandal from San Ramon, California wants to know if you've seen any new kind of like kill animations from the first game. Is there any like new way you can just brutally gut a guy?
He's definitely got that up-close attack where you lift a guy up with your sword and then just stab him a million times. I haven't noticed a lot of new ones, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if there are. I just haven't noticed. But yeah, it really, just the sequences, I'll try to show you one here. The sequences where you're just fighting the Colossus are astounding. And the things you do to him once you get up on top of his head are just brutal, and they're so fun to watch. And the action, it's just non-stop. It's just a relentless pace that sort of made the first game so fun. It looks like they're really continuing it in this game as well.
So this is a demo. Mm-hmm. Do we know if this demo is going to be like made available to people, or?
I don't know. Okay, here's the second part. But I don't know. And I honestly don't know. I assume that this is the first boss in the game. Mm-hmm. But because you have a big intro sequence to this demo that is, I think we have it on the site. But
ow!
You know, you figure there's going to be a lot of different types of fights. Right in the face. Watch this. Ow! Right on the cheek. Oh no, I screwed up. But anyway, yeah. So I mean, just a lot, and you're not dead here. You just have to get him stunned again, and then you go back up on his head.
So the game comes out in March, right?
Yeah, just around the corner.
That is soon. Thank you, Brian Eckberg.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
We're going to let you get out of here because we know we got other things to do.
Got business.
And we want to play this game, and we're going to take it away from you.
Cool.
Right now, Jason Ocampo is standing by. He magically transported from the Caribbean and Online thing to the studio. Jason, how
he was in a dead run the entire time. He just got his breath back. Jason, how's it going?
I'm good.
And you're here to show off the GRAW 2 demo.
GRAW, yeah. GRAW, Ghost Recon Advanced Fighter 2.
Warfighter.
Warfighter.
That too.
Yes.
That's where the W.
That's where the W
from.
is. Yep, exactly.
I think it'd be graph otherwise.
That'd be cool too.
So what's going on in this new demo, this hot new demo for Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter 2?
Well, obviously this is, hold on a sec, let me just invert the thing. This is the new single player demo that came out today. It's basically gets you into the shoes of Scott Mitchell, the hardest working guy in the government. If you played GRAW 1, you remember Scott Mitchell's the guy you took through the Battle of Mexico City, and he single-handedly saved the president and another president and the Mexican president and all that. Well, he barely gets home, and they kind of tell him, okay, you know what? There's still more stuff you got to do.
So you're back in Mexico.
You're back in Mexico. You're actually on the border.
Can't get enough
this time.
of Mexico.
You're right. You're kind of like it's set in the Juarez, El Paso area. So if anyone from that area,
border area,
very border area. So the idea is like after the coup attempt, which was supposed to succeed in GRAW 1, after that happened, they all went to the border.
Keep going.
Yep, I am. They all went to the border and decided, oops, yeah, I'm ordering the drone around here. But the rebels all went to the border, and you've got to go kind of stamp them out again.
Flush them out. Now, this obviously it seems like they're just kind of tying this into the first one. Do we have any idea of where the game goes from here? Do you keep staying in Mexico, or are we going to see new places?
It goes into America. Apparently, there's Invasion USA somehow. You're going to be battling. I think one of the complaints about GRAW was always kind of like very rundown urban. So you're going to get in the suburbs.
Okay.
Stuff like that. And the big story is
this already looks a bit unlike what we saw in GRAW. Just that
it's an outdoor wilderness area. Yeah. The idea in this game is you're going to kind of find out who's kind of behind everything, because that was one of the big questions left behind in GRAW was like who are these guys? Where are they getting their money? Who's financing them? And that's going to kind of be answered in this one.
Now, aside from the difference in environments, have there been any control tweaks from the original Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter?
There are a number of very key gameplay enhancements. So I think the first one here is, if you remember the drones from the first game, these are now you used to have to watch their feed in your in the little camera window in your visor. Now you have got full screen feed, and you can control the drone directly.
So previously it just happened, and it was just like a little window on your screen.
And now
on your heads-up display.
And if you have your teammates now too, and they're not here in this quite yet in this level, you'll be able to go full screen in their camera view too, see exactly what they're seeing.
Well, you got to go find your squad.
Yeah, we got to go over to the. I got to follow the arrow. Here we go. The graphics have been enhanced a bit now too. Obviously not a huge amount because it's only been about 12 or 18 months since the first game. But there's now time of day effects, so the longer you stay in this mission, the sun will start going down and the shadows will get longer.
I noticed you're playing this in first person. Is that just a personal preference?
I'm a PC guy at heart.
You don't like the close-up shot.
Yep. But I
just say that was like just one of the most stunning and just noteworthy things to me about the presentation in the original Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter was just the intensity. It did have that kind of like embedded reporter vibe. Over the shoulder.
Well, Brian, just for you.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Excellent. Beautiful. Rich, what do the folks at home want to know about GRAW 2?
Did you know that Scott Mitchell's best year was with the Detroit Lions in 1995 when he threw for 4,338 yards and 32 touchdowns?
I don't think that's the same Scott Mitchell.
They went 10-6 and lost in the wild card game to the Eagles, 58-37.
So close. Didn't get that ring. I know you wanted it so bad.
All the questions I'm getting are still for God of War. So
okay.
That's why I had to go look.
Come on, guys. It's GRAW.
And you died.
This is a hard game. The guys will flank you. The AI's been tweaked a bit more.
So it's as far as the challenge goes, would you say comparable from what you've seen in this demo to the first GRAW?
Yeah. Certainly. The first GRAW had its moments, and I'm sure this one will too, where you're just probably going to find yourself, what am I supposed to be doing? How am I going to stop these guys? But you have a lot more stuff. I mean, it's beautiful. We saw mortar and rockets coming in at the Ubisoft event earlier this month, and it's beautiful how they just come in and just shatter everything. The game just seems to be taking it a bit more to the next level, but it is GRAW. It's like, here you are. Oh, yeah, right. Zooming in and shooting guys, and
Fantastic. This definitely looks like GRAW. Now, this demo, unlike the God of War 2 demo, this is out
Yes.
People can get this on their Xbox 360.
Go on the Xbox Live Marketplace right now.
Do we know if this is a gold exclusive or if silver members can get this as well?
I'm not quite sure.
It is currently a gold exclusive.
Okay.
So only gold members, only if you're paying for that Xbox Live account can you get this Graw 2 demo.
Or you can watch it here.
For the time being, or hey, check it out. We've got it right in front of you. And we'll have more of this on the site, of course, footage and everything.
And we have actually a preview going up today. We played some multiplayer yesterday, serious multiplayer.
Root, and that's outside of the demo.
Yes, outside of the demo. This was a separate thing altogether, but we got a chance to play all the different game modes. It's pretty crazy. It's great.
Fantastic. Do we know when this game's coming out?
This one will be coming out relatively soon. I think definitely this year. I think spring or early summer.
All right, excellent. Jason, thanks for coming by and showing this off.
All right.
Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter 2 is the game. Up next, we have something about Hellboy. What's going on, Rich?
Well, later on today on this very site, you'll be able to check out a full interview and preview about the new Hellboy game.
There's a new Hellboy game?
Yeah. Or you could just watch a clip of the interview right now.
The producer on the Hellboy game that Konami's working on. It's based on the comic book and the film that came out. What we tried to do with this game is we didn't want to follow the movie specifically or the comic specifically. What we wanted to do was draw from both of them. We felt like it was most appropriate to take closer to the visual style of the movie and draw from the storylines and the settings from the comic books. Today we've got two demos. We've got a 360 demo and a PSP demo. The games are different. They're based on the same storyline, but they have a very different look and feel. Both games have 6 levels currently. And there's an overarching story, but each level plays out as a separate chapter, kind of like the comic books would. So you can play them sequentially and it all makes sense, or you can just play one level, which we're actually calling chapters, and it makes sense. It's got a start and a finish. We're trying to stay true to the nature of Hellboy. He's a big guy. He likes to break stuff up. He's got a big gun. We're really trying to stay true to the nature of Hellboy, and he seems, generally fairly reluctant to use the gun. So we want to try and balance the combat with the gun. I mean, it's really cool and it's a nice feature, but we want to make it something that's, he uses intentionally. There's a reason to use it when you get into a certain situation. The setup that occurs warrants you using the gun. You're not just running around blasting things all the time. The main things that we try to do different on the PSP as opposed to the console are we chose a different graphics style that we think actually works a lot better on the PSP. But it's a little more flat shaded. It's not, it's a little more comic book-ish. Hellboy's coming out in 2007. It's coming out for Sony PlayStation 3, Sony PSP, and Microsoft Xbox 360.
And that is just a part of the interview that you can watch later on. Could you tell the difference between like the console version and the PSP version of Hellboy in there? No. It's hard. No, you can tell. You can tell. Look for it next time. All right, Jeff. We've come to the end of the show. We're all that stands between our viewers and a demo of Windows Vista gaming at its best.
So we got to hold them off then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what we have here right now. Actually, Ryan Davis reviewed the game.
He did.
But we're playing it.
He's all the way over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Comix Zone.
It is Comix Zone, and this is a recent release for the Virtual Console on the Wii. And I can show you right here basically what Comix Zone is all about. I'm standing in this comic book panel, and I'm going to be like, whoop!
Oh,
dude! And then I'm going to punch this dude. So yeah, you're the creator of this comic book. Lightning strikes your magical comic book, and you get sucked into the magic world of the Aha
Sketch
Take on Me
Turner.
video. Yes, and your name is Sketch Turner.
You have a pet rat.
And yes, you have a pet rat, and he gets sucked into the world of his own comic book. It's like Tron, but with comics,
So why? Oh, hey there.
Now I got the rat.
Cool. Why we're having this game on the show? It's a Virtual Console download, and one of the dangers of Virtual Console downloads is you might get caught up in fake retro appeal. Like I look at this game and I think, oh, this is awesome. I'm totally spending money on this.
Yeah,
You could do that.
That's one way you could go. Yeah.
Yeah, but probably shouldn't, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, that's for the most part, the emulation on all the Virtual Console stuff is just fine. With the exception of some TurboGrafx games and Mario Kart 64, which is kind of jacked. But at the end of the day, you might remember these games fondly, but some of these games
I don't remember this game at all.
Yeah, well, Comix Zone is a weird case because it came out super late in the Genesis's
That was so awesome
lifespan.
what you just did right there.
And yeah,
They have little speech bubbles. Is this how you treat your creator?
You're
not of our breed.
It is a really crazy, cool idea.
Slam.
But I'm pretty much just hitting A.
That's all you're doing?
And then
you have a
occasionally
rat
hit
icon
B.
up in the corner.
Yeah, I picked up my special rat.
This is for a game that's released the same week as Link to the Past.
Right. Yeah.
Or the week after, whatever it was. It's around the same time.
Yeah. Then that's been the craziest part of the Virtual Console is you get some of the greatest games of all time. Zelda, Link to the Past.
That box.
The Switch is too high.
I kicked the box.
I'm gonna kick the box. She says she doesn't like the crate, and look out. Well, check this out. I kicked the crate.
Curiosity killed the cat. And you're on fire.
And then I fell into fire.
But wait for the end part. This is the
oh
part.
God, no!
X. So it's the villain from the comic book is the one that's controlling pulling the strings.
Don't bother explaining it, dude.
But watch, no, this is my favorite part. Wait for after this shot, then we can be done with it.
Well, he just set the comic on fire.
Here it is. I'm going to rock this world.
Nice knowing you, Sketch Turner.
Nah.
So that's Comix Zone. It's available on the Virtual Console now. Is that like a $7 game? $8 game?
Oh, what do they charge for Genesis games? Like 6? 8?
You just got through 7% of the game in that little demo.
Nice. That's my superhero meter. It's part of the way full. Still no word on what the back of this controller does.
No one knows? Someday we'll find out, man. Someday.
No word.
Ryan Davis, we've stalled long enough. Now is the time. Show us the power of Windows Vista.
Windows Vista is, I don't know if you know this, the future of games.
Gentlemen, I am playing the greatest advancement in solitaire technology since the invention of the card itself.
We are playing Vista Solitaire.
Yes.
Wow. This is what Games for Windows has to offer for you
look
right
at those
now.
Exactly. And hold on a sec.
Cards.
Yeah, look, check this out. Check this out.
Oh, and you're gonna win too.
Yes, and I set it up so I can win. You can change the decks, and Valentine's Day. Here we are. We've got the heart.
Very romantic.
Yeah, it's very romantic.
So Windows Vista is all about adding an analog clock next to your game of
exactly.
And the first thing I did when I installed Vista was turn off the analog clock.
These are the games that come with, well, obviously not Company Heroes.
Obviously not Company Heroes. I installed that. I have the ultimate version of Vista, so that lets me get Hold'em, Poker, and
let's tease the folks at home with what only Ultimate, the people who put down the extra bucks and got the Bill Gates signed.
Look at those cards get dealt.
Check it out. Check it out. And Hold'em, Poker. Here we are.
I see chips. I see cards.
Yeah, here we are. Let's just keep this going. So I'm, 10 and 5. I'm sorry.
All in.
Do it.
All in.
All right. Here we go. Yes. And he goes, are you sure?
Look at that.
Yes.
Look at the translucency on that thing that popped up. Did you see that?
Do you want to see translucency, guys? Watch this. Just watch.
Oh my
look at the
gosh.
Title bar.
Translucency. Title bar.
That guy has ace king.
Hold on. Oh, but we got 2 10s.
We are so winning this.
We got a pair of 10s. We got a pair of
5s.
Philip J.
Oh yeah.
You are the world's greatest poker player.
Winner determined. It's good to
Oh,
know.
you took it all. You took it all.
Here we are.
Beautiful.
So that was Hold'em.
That's why they call it gambling.
We got Mahjong in here.
I need to
Not just Mahjong. Mahjong Titans.
I need to know what next gen Minesweeper looks like.
Next gen Minesweeper is
You can't
awesome.
run more than one game at once with Windows Vista,
Look at
can
this.
you?
Solitaire,
at
Hold'em,
this.
Mahjong Titan, Minesweeper.
And look at the translucency on this.
Dude, click on that one. Yeah,
This is
totally. Yep.
beautiful.
Right click.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, hold on. I think I'm gonna have to just trigger.
Oh.
And then if I explode it.
Oh no!
And then here explosions.
Next gen
Get out of town.
Minesweeper.
All right,
Look at that.
And then here we are. Let me finish this game because you have to see what happens. In the solitaire for the last 15 years, all the cards kind of just fall.
Oh yeah, what are they gonna do in this one?
Oh, God.
Shut up. I don't want it ruined. Just
Here we go.
Dude. Oh my God!
Woo!
Gentlemen, the best part.
I'm done.
The best part, you can save your games now.
Video games!
You can save your solitaire game mid-game.
Oh my God!
Let me start.
So if you're in the middle of a game, you're like, hey, I need.
And then the boss comes by, and you're just like,
I'm
damn
not
it,
playing.
I'm winning. And then you just go, wait a minute. Do you want to save the game in progress?
I do.
Yes, save.
So the real question is though, James. I was about to call you James.
Jimmy.
Jason.
Jim John.
I've been talking to James you all the time about Windows Vista because I'm so excited about playing Free Cell on it.
Yeah.
But Jason, the real question is Solitaire a games for Windows? Is it officially a game for Windows? There are stringent requirements.
There are very strict requirements. You have to have the little logo, of course, and you have to do all this. But the true test, of course,
is if it works with the Xbox.
The
360
Xbox.
controller.
My hand's off the mouse.
There you go.
If you are a game for Windows,
moving cards.
You must be
I am
Xbox
playing
360
solitaire.
controller compatible.
That
There
is
we are.
madness.
I am officially done. I'm retiring.
Gentlemen, the greatest advancement in solitaire ever.
What is this? Can we see a couple more decks and backgrounds?
Yeah, yeah, sure. So this was the Hearts
I don't know.
deck.
This one's pretty groovy.
This
Yeah,
is
but we
very
gotta
nice.
show them off.
Any
Let's go
questions
Green
from readers about
Nature
this
and
great
the
game?
Seasons deck.
Oh, look at that. I do have one minor complaint here. Where are the robots?
Oh yes, the little animated robots they're gone.
Where's the tropical island
Robots
deck?
are inside
But if you look
now,
very
Ryan.
closely
They're
at the-
in the machine.
And here, if your parents are playing, there's large print cards.
I changed to those because I thought they looked pretty.
Yeah,
No, it's kind of cool. I like it's like off in the
Yeah,
corner, kind of
Red 10 blackjack, dude. Red 10 blackjack.
exactly. 10 blackjack. Booyah.
So
Okay.
my favorite part about this demo so far, besides the Minesweeper explosions, can we back that camera out a little bit and show everyone what Jason's using?
Now, this is my own
Vista
personal
on?
machine, and before I'm accused of bias, this is my own personal MacBook Pro. I am running Vista Ultimate on a MacBook Pro. And I have
Cool,
to
you
admit-
installed a real OS on it.
I like it.
Three different groups of people
Yeah, I
right now.
am. You know,
But you like this? It's working well
Steve
for you?
Jobs is like off with his head. Yes, it is. It is fabulous. I actually like Vista quite a bit. It's a huge leap over XP. I find. I mean, just visually, I want to take out elements of its interface and put it in OS 10.
I'm going to ask you the hard question.
Yeah.
Is it better than OS X?
What's OS X?
Do you like it better than OS X?
I like some things better, and I think OS 10 does something. It's a wash though. Before it was clearly OS 10.
Did they sing
now it's
3
a wash.
a.m. Eternal?
Yeah.
Is that OS X?
Yeah.
Is that what they did?
OS
Yeah,
X.
OS
yeah.
10.
10, OS
Sorry.
X. But you know what? Yeah, Vista. It took them for a while to get here,
OS X is
but
gonna
thank God
rock
they did,
you.
because it looks great. It's beautiful and solitaire. And check it
Solitaire.
out. So let's go back to this is brown felt, and let's do the heart stack.
Moon.
Booyah.
It's beautiful. Jason, I guess thanks.
Yeah.
So
Always.
basically,
Anytime.
excuse me, the moral of the story here is you don't really need Windows Vista yet, do you, Jason?
Not quite. You got, right now there's no games that really require DX10, which only works on Windows Vista. That'll change eventually when like Crysis or something like that ships. But
Is Crysis or is it is Halo 2 going to be a DX10?
no, you know what? It's gonna be DX9. Crysis isn't even DX10 only. You can play it in DX9. But
Okay.
you wait for some more DX10 cards to get out there. Wait for the prices to drop. Wait for the drivers to stabilize a bit more. Because if XP was any indication, it took about 6 months for the drivers to really
So
stabilize.
there's
the
still going to
system.
there's a service pack that's coming out soon. Sounds like they're already working on it at least.
Yeah, they're going to be working on just minor updates. This is the nice thing about this; it's a lot more modular, so they can update it a lot easier. So hopefully they'll be able to keep this.
Are you talking about Solitaire over there? 'Cause
Yes,
I'm sorry. No more.
Maybe
no
they'll
more
eventually be
actual
able to
pertinent
update my
information.
version of
Jason,
Windows
thank you
to
for
not
coming by and
crash
showing
when I
us
try to
the
shut it
Windows,
down.
Solitaire.
Thanks, Vista.
they
Rich,
can't hear you. They're listening to
I'll turn
Ryan.
it back over to you.
What's that? Oh,
We're
thanks,
done.
guys.
I just wrapped it up while you were chit-chatting.
I'm telling Jeff to be quiet because he's complaining about how he can't install Vista or something.
No, I installed it. It just
Yeah.
it doesn't work so well.
I run Windows 2000, and it works fine.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it checks email real good.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's after I did an upgrade install, which is always ill-advised, but I had to see if they had actually made it go, and
No.
I've got an Amiga.
Yeah, that's nice.
This has been a
Amigas
fun
are
show.
nice.
Jason, thanks for coming by, man, with your two
Anytime,
demos
guys.
and playing Solitaire with an Xbox 360 controller on Windows Vista.
Finally,
On a Macintosh.
The future is now.
Yes, it's here. Did you notice that Brian left behind that God of War 2 demo?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's Jeff. Good show.
Well, let's party a little
Yeah,
later
let's
then.
shut this.
like
thing
thank
down.
Brian Eckberg for coming by as well. I'm doing great with everyone's names today. Did you notice
Yeah,
that?
it's a good name day.
Leslie and Roberto, High Impact Games for Ratchet and Clank Size Matters. Also, great looking game.
Yeah.
Playing a platformer like that on action, thing on the PSP will be fun.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to playing it. I haven't played it yet, but
It's not just for Luminous anymore. The PSP, you could say.
oh, I don't know.
Okay. Well, I thank the crew for doing a fantastic job, and all of you for watching. Am I missing anything? Oh yeah, sorry. All the T-shirt winners, we're still getting T-shirts in from all over the place. We'll announce them next week, I promise, along with all the stuff that we gave away. All that coming at you next week. And let's see, button mashing in a couple weeks, Tournament TV next week. We should do something fun tomorrow because we don't have Tournament TV. You want to?
Let's not come to work.
I'm in.
All right.
Thank you all for watching. My name is Rich Galfaroon. Here to all of you. We'll see you next time right here on the spot. You turned the camera away.
With me is producer Phil Wilson. How you doing, Phil?
I'm good. Hi.
Good deal. So the demo, good deal. And then so finally, good deal. All right, thanks a lot, Phil.